But part of the reason why Commander is so popular is because you can include a lot more of your friends and there's a lot more interaction between players. But what if you got rid of that? I like to call this my IRS deck because the general goal is to make yourself untouchable by imposing taxes on your opponents, kind of like the US tax system. The primary win strategy for this deck is to stall the game until you combo off, and this is predominantly done in two ways. The first being cast Approach of the Second Sun twice, or to cast Omniscience and then enter the Infinite. This last combo allows you to win the game by either casting Thassa's Oracle, or you can deck yourself and win by using Laboratory Maniac, or the Jace that does the same thing. I just happen to have Laboratory Maniac in my deck. And the last combo that we're going to mention is Phyrexian Vindicator and Pariah. Now this one doesn't win you the game, but it can win you the game if you have irresponsible players. Now the way that this works is you're going to enchant Phyrexian Vindicator with Pariah. Now this creates a board state where if any of your opponents hit you, it deals that damage to Phyrexian Vindicator instead, and then you can redirect that damage wherever you choose. Typically people won't try and hit you at this point because it can be a lot worse if they try and hit you, but this is a great deterrent and it helps stall the game, which is what you're trying to do anyway. Now, a large portion of the win conditions is through either looking for specific cards or decking yourself and then utilizing either Thassa's Oracle or Laboratory Maniac. However, given that point, there is a metric ton of card draw in this deck, and this can be done predominantly through Rhystic Study or Consecrated Sphinx, however there are other cards. However, you particularly want to make it difficult for your opponents to hit you, and this is where cards such as Propaganda or Ghostly Prison come into play. Now with these two cards, you have a choice to make. Either A, you can focus on micromanaging your opponents, or you can step back to the macroscopic view, and this is where you get to have a little bit more fun. Taking the macroscopic view, this is where you get to play God, because you get to control the pace of the entire game. Now, you can either slow it down to a glacial pace by Winter Orb or Hikori Dustdrinker, or you can speed things up by casting Braids or other group hug effects. Now, whether or not you want to be benevolent or soul crushing, that is entirely your choice. And while there are general IRS cards such as the Commander, Smothering Tithe, or Rhystic Study, the most important cards in this deck are the ones that only impact your opponents, such as Grand Abolisher, Spell Tithe Enforcer, or God Pharaoh Statue. Now, if you've gotten this far, make sure to subscribe. However, if you are curious about anything else, there is a comprehensive deck list in the description below. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and we'll learn something new in the next video.